here, and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 here on Westbridge Hills. Since last episode, really not a whole lot has changed here. I figure what we're going to be doing on this episode, I'm just going to be working on that number up in the top right corner there. It's not looking so great, if you know what I mean there. Only $4,000. But fortunately, we have a loan we can take out here, everyone. And the goal with this loan is going to be to hopefully afford a new field. Now, what field that's going to be, I'm not sure. It's going to depend on how much money we can borrow. I'm guessing with where we are at the moment, Evan, it's probably not going to be much more than $500,000. So, you know, affording a nice large field like this over here, probably not going to happen. But, I mean, if we can, that I think would be ideal. Or one of the other larger fields that are in there, you know, 17 here looks pretty nice. 15, probably not 18, at least not yet anyway. 11 won't be so bad. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go this far out, but trying to stick right around the farmyard here for starters. So like I said, 17 or 15 there would be nice. So let's head over to the bank here and see how much money we can borrow here, and just push the space bar a whole bunch of times. Always kind of the annoying thing about borrowing money in the game, everyone. $5,000. Like, you think about it, $5,000 at a time, really? Like giants, like just make that $50,000. Make it $500,000 at a time, right? Like, who's borrowing $5,000 at a time? It's ridiculous. Then you got to pay it back at $5,000 at a time too. So loan $510,000. It's going to give us $500,000, Evan. So let's see what we can borrow or buy for $500,000. Okay, so we can afford field 3 of them, but that's going to pretty much wipe us right out. Field 9 out of the question. I'm thinking, everyone, we're probably going to go for field 3, and hopefully we don't need any more money, because, like I said, once we buy that field, we're going to be pretty much tapped right out, so to speak. I mean, I can't, well, actually, no. Once I buy the field, then I can borrow more. So, for those of you maybe not familiar with how the whole loan system works here in Farming Simulator 22, obviously a little bit different than it was back in 2013, right, Evan? But in Farming Simulator 22 here, it is directly related to how much land you own. So the more land you own, the more you can borrow. You know, once you own enough land, you can borrow, is it 3 million, I think, right? I think that's what, or was it 2 million? Whatever the, I think it was 3 million was the top number, right? You can borrow up to $3 million, but again, we don't own enough for that yet. What is on this? Soybeans, and they're ready to harvest, and they're plus 98%. Yeah, don't say that. That's the field, right? Yes, it is. Ready to harvest, too, huh? Well, let's, yes, please. I will take that. And ready to harvest too. That's about the best way to get it here. Because, you know, if we had to plant this field, that might get a little bit, you know, $21,000. I don't know if we could plant this field on $21,000 or not, right? That'd be a little close. Okay, well, now that we own that field, that one, and like I was saying, if we go check our loan here again, oh, you know, I probably have to, once we restart the game, then that loan will go up. But, yeah, now that we own that field, I don't know, maybe another 500,000. I'm not sure exactly what the correlation between land and the amount you can borrow is, right? I don't know what that is, but all I know is it is directly tied to how much land you own. So more land you own, the more you can borrow. Ah, such a great idea, right, everyone? Borrow the money. Genius idea. Okay, well, seeing as how we have a field that is ready to harvest, and you know what? I should probably, let's double check the stats on this here, too. Said it was plus 98. Let's make sure it actually is plus 98 here as well. Which, being plus 98 probably means either the field wasn't rolled or it wasn't mulched. You know, take your pick, one of the two. If it's plus 98, it should be fully fertilized, lime, and all that good stuff. At least it should be anyway. Let's see once here. Check our field status here a minute. Yep, shows it's fully fertilized. Doesn't need lime. Doesn't need to be rolled. And I'm not seeing, I don't know if do I have to turn stuff off for this? No, I don't think so. Because once the fertilizer's off, then the mulching should definitely show up. So yeah, it doesn't look like any of the fields have been mulched then, but they have been rolled. Well, let's start harvesting our new field here then. GPS going here. So we are doing 0 degrees, I think, on this field, right? Yes, we are. And just a reminder here, if you're maybe new to this series, that one, This is a 10-year anniversary series we're doing here on Westbridge Hills. So just a little over 10 years ago, Evan, I started doing videos here on Farming Simulator. I didn't necessarily start my YouTube channel then, Evan, but this is kind of when I actually actually started it, if you know what I mean, Evan. Like, I'd done some videos up until that point, but like when I started this map, Evan, this is when I like actively started doing it. And we started out on Farming Simulator 2013. That was the Titanium DLC on Westbridge Hills. I don't know, do we even have soybeans back then? I don't know if, no, I don't think soybeans were even a crop back then, if I remember correctly, Evan. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think soybeans were even a crop. We had wheat, barley, canola, corn. I'm probably missing something there. Wheat, barley, canola, and corn. We didn't have oats. We didn't have soybeans. What else is there here? We definitely didn't have sorghum. We go look at my crops here. Of course, we had grass, everyone. Seems like I'm missing. Yeah, we didn't have sunflowers, I don't think. Did we have both potatoes and sugar beets? I'm pretty sure we had some root crops, Evan. I don't remember if it was both or just one of those. And then, yeah, none of the rest of the stuff. So, yeah, just those handful of crops back then. And it was back then, too. I believe that was even true in Farming Simulator 15 as well, if I remember correctly, Evan. Yeah, I know it was true. Back in Farming Simulator 15, I mean, if you had maps with different fruit types on, you had to run a bunch of different scripting mods to enable you to have additional fruit crops. When I say fruit crops, it's, fruit types. The game categorizes any crop as fruit type, right? Why do you call it fruit type? Because I don't know that I would consider soybeans fruit. Whatever. That's how the game does it, so. Yeah, things have definitely changed since the Farming Simulator 2013 days, that is for sure. Even again, like the loan system. Again, you folks, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe back in Farming Simulator 2013, Evan, the maximum loan you could do was $200,000, I think. I think somewhere along the way it bumped up. Wasn't it like 500,000? Is that maybe not Farming Sim 19? Farming Sim 19 was like 500,000 or something like that. Now, here in Farming Simulator 22 of it is like 3 million. I think there 2 million, somewhere in there. $2 or $3 million. So at least a reasonable amount, right? Giants is finally starting to pull their heads out of their ear-no-wares on some of this stuff. Although still making you borrow, $5,000 at a time. Which, back when you could borrow a maximum of $200,000, I guess, borrowing $5,000 at a time, not such a big deal. But when you got to borrow, $3 million or repay back $3 million, $5,000 at a time, oh my goodness, that's a little bit annoying. Just a whole lot of annoying, really. Peace and quiet in the cab, right, Evan? Also, I'll have to mention, Evan, if you folks are watching this the day this video goes live, it'll be the day after Christmas here. So hopefully everyone watching had a great Christmas. Got all the gifts you wanted. Santa brought you everything you ever wanted for Christmas, right? Come on, they can't bring you everything you ever wanted. Otherwise, what would you get next time? But anyway, yeah, again, hopefully everyone had a great Christmas here. We've only got a couple more days left here yet in the year 23, everyone, and we'll be on to 2024 already. Wow. Can you believe it, everyone? 2023 is almost done with, and we'll be on to 2024. And what will 2024 bring to Farming Simulator? Will there be a new version of Farming Simulator? That's an excellent question. I don't know. Farming Simulator 22 will have been out at 3 years at that point. So, obviously, up until Farming Simulator 19, Evan Giants released a new Farming Simulator every other year. We pretty much went 2009, 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017, 2019. And then, of course, we had 22 of them. That was a 3-year split in there. But there were some other issues going on with that one. And not necessarily the issues you folks are maybe thinking of either. So yes, begs the question, 2019 to 2012, there's 3 years. Are we going to see Farming Simulator 2025? I have no idea. It's speculation, right? Speculation. It'll be interesting to see. That is for sure. And of course, if there is, that would probably be what, like November, like basically a year from now before we maybe see that. Just guessing anyway. Not sure, but yeah, don't know, Evan. Don't know. Like the soybeans are yielding fairly well here at this point. A little over half full here already. Not too bad. Not too bad. Looks like a really clean sample looking in this back window here, everyone. You can always get your soybeans that clean in real life, right? As I've said before, when this game in some ways definitely really overly simplifies how complicated farming actually is, like running the combine, everyone. In real life, of course, you do have some of the combines nowadays that can like change some of the settings on their own. But even to that point, you still like you need to be there and you're just watching and making sure everything's looking good, right? Making basically constant adjustments usually. Unlike Farming Simulator, it's not quite as easy as just getting in the cab, turning the combine on, and going, everyone. A lot of stuff you got to pay attention to when harvesting. Especially when you first start harvesting for the season, Evan. A lot of times you're out there checking behind the combine and behind the head, making sure, the head is cutting everything cleanly. Everything's coming into the head. You're not experiencing any header loss if you can help it. And of course, if you are, you're making adjustments to hopefully compensate for that. And then next, of course, having you got the combine, you're checking the combine, making sure the combine's not, just throwing your crop back out the back of it, right? That, of course, is never ideal. Ideally, you want the harvested grain to go in the tank, not out the back of the combine. Which, pretty much almost always, you get a little bit of loss, right? I don't know that there's a such thing as zero loss, right? I could be wrong, but I don't think there's a such thing as zero loss. You almost always lose just a little bit. Whether it's from the header, just, doesn't make it into the header and doesn't make it into the combine. Or once it's in the combine, it just it doesn't get separated properly and just goes out the back with the rest of the chaff. You lose a little bit somewhere, right? And then, of course, while you're harvesting too, ideally you want your grain to be as clean as possible. Now, like, this is like a perfect sample here, right, Evan? Like I said, it doesn't really happen like that in real life. Usually, like especially like soybeans, Evan, you're probably going to see some pods inside of here. I don't know, you'll see necessarily so much as far as like the rest of the plant in here. Maybe some leaves, occasionally stalk material, but typically the pods is what you'll most commonly see in soybeans. Or, if we're talking corn, you'll see the cob. And again, when it comes to having all kinds of different settings you can adjust on the combine to get yourself the cleanest sample you can, hopefully, while minimizing loss. Yes, that turn, I'm not sure I like that turn there, one. I think if we continued that route on our next pass, we probably would have missed a little bit of crop. And next thing you know, I probably would have been getting a phone call from our field quality manager letting me know that I had a missing spot in the field there. As I said before, it takes the job very seriously. Oh, we're full. Okay, let's go grab a tractor. The small tractor actually handles the trailer surprisingly well, so I'm just going to grab the small tractor here. to the field we go. Got our little case 145. What's it? Case maximum. Sorry, case maximum. I keep forgetting the name of this one here. I don't know. Is this a particular series of tractor out back when Farming Simulator 2013 was released? I don't remember hearing this one before. Need a little bit further away. Fairly good sized pipe on this combine. We are running a relatively small header on it, so plenty of space between the combine and the header, right? If this was a 30 or 35, say anywhere from I can tell, which is kind of odd. Guess Case doesn't want you to know how small their header is. Looks like probably a 30. Oh, there it is. There it is. 30 foot, I was going to guess. Yep, 30, 50. So I'm going to guess that's probably 30 foot. Or 28 feet. Actually, what GPS tells me. Oh, 28 actually. 28, okay. Typical. They probably marketed it as a 30 foot, but then actually sell you, 2 feet short. Sounds like something that would happen with the red equipment, right, everyone? See, back in Farming Simulator 2013, I mean, you really couldn't make fun of the red equipment back then as much, because green equipment wasn't, the correct color of green equipment wasn't necessarily in the game back then, unless, of course, you went modded, which, of course you did, right, Evan? But, if you wanted American equipment in the game, well, the Titanium DLC introduced the case equipment. So combines, tractors, and I don't even remember exactly what was all part of that DLC anymore of them, but again, that was kind of the case DLC as well, right? Obviously came with the Westbridge Hills and the map. But then it also was the case equipment DLC. Well, then let's head over to the comments section here. And actually, you know what? Before we start reading comments here, just a reminder, if you haven't already clicked that subscribe button, Evan, don't forget to do so. Always very much appreciated. And, of course, once you are subscribed, make sure you turn on your notifications so you get notified of the next latest, greatest Westbridge Hill episode going live. And don't forget, too, if you like the video, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Oh, I've said this before, the corner posts in this cab are exactly in the wrong spot for this header. Put a little bit larger header on it, might be okay, but for this particular one, oh boy. Exactly in the wrong spot, and then of course on this side too, you got the screen, so like a double whammy here. Oh yes, back when we started playing Farming Simulator 2013, everyone, didn't have GPS then. The GPS mod might have been around, I'm not sure, everyone, but at least for myself, I was not playing with the GPS mod back then. Like I said, I don't know if it was even around back in 2013 or not. Maybe some of those you folks out there watching that maybe played Farming Simulator 2013 can enlighten me on that. Not exactly sure when the GPS mod was released. And I think I've mentioned this before too. When it came to Farming Simulator, I've played every single version of Farming Simulator. I played a fair amount of 09, but 2011, I never played much of 2011 for some reason. And then 2013, everyone, I don't know if I played a whole lot of 2013 initially in the beginning either. But when the Titanium DLC released, and again, that was kind of the American equipment that started there, that's when I kind of picked the game back up again. So a little bit of a lull there for me between 2009 and 2013, but anyway, let's get over to the comments. I haven't seen what you folks had to say here for last episode, and I'm guessing because yesterday was Christmas, we'll probably see a few Merry Christmases. So, again, wishing all my viewers here a very Merry Christmas, and like I said, hope you had a Merry Christmas as well. Christopher, yep, like I was saying, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Mason was saying, Merry Christmas. Don't forget those Euro tractors and tipper trailers have all air brakes and those nasty signs. Awesome video. Keep up the hard work. Ah, yes, that's a good point. Yep. I think, is that like a European requirement there or something? You all got to have air brakes, steerable axles, and all got to have hydraulics on them, and yeah, no rubbish. Yeah. Let's go with the American style, gravity wagon, Evan. Speaking of which, I do want to like change that out for maybe a couple of nice gravity wagons. Let's get a little bit more money here. That trailer needs to go, or maybe. In this case, Evan, I think I would be okay with cheating money to change that out. I mean, come on. Westbridge Hill, supposed to be an American map. What? Well, I guess you can't see. What is that thing? That's not an American trailer. Hard again, like I said before, to see the corner of that header to line yourself up there. Hetro saying Merry Christmas. Kind of cheating thing to do is sell your grain first, get paid for it, then buy the mill. That missing spot happens in some maps. You can get rid of the spot by using a plow with crate fields on. Yeah, in this the missing spot, I think actually, unless it actually is a legit missing spot, it could be. I think it's just because of the angle of the hill. The implement slides over in that spot. I think. I could be wrong, but also going back to Hetro's comment there, a kind of cheating thing to do is sell your grain first and then buy the mill. Does like the grain stay in there then when you do that or something? I guess I'm not understanding like how is that cheating? Like you go to the grain mill, you sell your grain with the money you made from that, you then go buy the mill. Seems like that'd only be cheating then if the grain that you sold is actually still in the mill. Which I don't know, maybe it is. I mean, I don't know if I've ever done that or not. Might have to check this out. Matt also saying Merry Christmas. And first, oh brother, here we go with the first comments again. Actually, speaking of which, I have not seen a whole lot of first comments lately. I don't know, is that not a thing to do on YouTube anymore, everyone? Do people not go around and yelling first on all the videos? Birdman was saying Merry Christmas. Hetro, I forget, I think you already said Merry Christmas, but there's another comment saying Merry Christmas as well. Oh, here's an interesting question here from Alaska. Are you a radio DJ? No, I am not. I'm not exactly sure what would make you think that, but nope, I am not a radio DJ. I'm not any sort of public speaking, other than like what we do here. I won. Oh, let's see what kind of progress are we making here. Oh, we're yeah, what, a third of the way, maybe, everyone. I think it's pretty good progress here so far. Oh, let's see what's here. We're in the month of March, Evan. If this map is like most maps, then soybeans typically sell best in the month of July. So we simply just need to hang on to this for a couple more months here, and we'll be ready to sell our soybeans. Unless doesn't the flour? Speaking of the flour mill, I should show you folks the progress on this here. By the way, yes, the flour mill does take soybeans. So for barley, Evan, takes 150 liters of barley to make 113 liters of flour. For soybeans, it takes 140 liters of soybeans to make 158 liters of flour. Interesting. I would have to presume it's probably worth doing that, Evan. At least I would like to think, anyway, Evan, that you make more money by doing flour than you do by just straight up selling your soybeans. Of course, I mean, I don't necessarily trust that because, I mean, as you folks have seen from Giant's economy and the way Giants does stuff, I don't know that that's necessarily true. Hopefully it is. But, again, like when it comes to like buying seed, everyone, do you buy it in the bag? Do you buy it in bulk? Do you buy it through the silos? Which one's cheapest? Well, buying it by the bag, Evan, is the cheapest by like a fraction, like a fifth of the cost. Yeah, a fifth, Evan. We're not even talking like a slight discount. We're talking like a fifth. Like $100 versus $500, 10,000 versus 50,000. Yeah, no small number there on that one. So like I said, when it comes to Giants' economic settings, I certainly do not trust them in any way, shape, or form. I definitely would not trust the fact that Giants has made it so that soybean flour actually sells more than soybeans itself. Again, one would think so and one would hope so, but... Oh, and speaking of flour, by the way, how are we looking at our barley flour? So we still have 43,708 liters of barley in the grain mill. I forget how much time has passed since we put that in there, too. I don't remember exactly. We're up to 12,000 liters of flour, though. Oh, and the output only holds 60,000. Wow, that is not very much. Given the input holds 300,000 of everything, Evan, the output only holds 60? Speaking of what's on the output, Evan, I have it set to storing at the moment. Kind of thinking I should maybe just set that to selling, at least for now, but we don't have another building or production for that to go into at the moment. Obviously, in the future, maybe once we start picking up a few more productions, I maybe want to change that. But until that happens, I think we should probably just set that to sell. Just sell the flour. And again, as I said before, you can actually make a little bit more money for waiting till the correct month to sell. But at least from the looking I've been doing at the time, saving stock, check everyone, we're not losing a whole lot, a couple $1,000. So well, you can't really see the pipe from this view, can you? Interesting. A little hard to unload when you can't see the pipe. Okay, well, with that, I think with that, we're going to wrap this video up here. You folks have any comments and or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, Evan, thanks for watching. Until next time.